Hello, my name is Sanghua Lee. I'm the professor of Handong Global University at the School of Global Entrepreneurship and ICT. I'm very glad to have a chance to teach you about the business strategy. This is the first class of the series of the lectures about business strategy. So today I will talk about the course syllabus and the profile of the instructor, and let me start the first class about strategic thinking. Okay? Okay, let me talk about the course syllabus first. The title of this course is Business Strategy. And of course, the language of this course is English. And I have a couple of objectives in this class. First, I want the students to understand the differences between strategic thinking and intuitive thinking. And I also want for the students to understand the overall flow of problem-solving 7 steps, which are developed by McKinsey and Company. Through this course, I also want the students to get familiarized with the basic tools of problem solving, such as writing a good business statement, a good problem statement, and understanding and utilizing some of the key tools and concept of the problem solving. For example, the concept of the BC and logic tree. And then I also want the students to understand the concept of the business strategy. What is the business strategy? And apply such concept in building business strategy from the sales manager's point of view. This is just an example of building business strategy, and I simply use a case which I have been developing the business strategy from the sales manager's point of view. So throughout this class, you may not only learn about some of the key concepts, but also you can apply this concept in your own areas of the interest. And I also want you to understand the basic concepts of a BCG matrix, SWOT analysis, 4P analysis, core competency analysis in relation to developing business strategy. In addition, you may also get some exposure of the concept of industry analysis, competitor analysis, and customer analysis in order to draw the proper strategy in the business areas. And finally, I want to introduce a case of building business strategy, redefining the business strategy in the era of digital transformation. Now the world is changing dramatically to the digital areas from the analog areas. Now, so in the era of digital transformation, that means changing a lot of structures, cultures, and the way to do the business to the digital area industries. You have to understand how to rebuild your business strategies. That might be different from the strategy building in the analog areas. And throughout this course, and if possible, I want to introduce a case to think of, for you to think about the required capabilities of the talented person in the fourth industrial revolution. We are now living in the age of the fourth industrial revolution, and in this day, the key required capabilities of the talented person might be different. So I will present what I think about the required capabilities of the talented person in the fourth industrial revolution, because I think those required capabilities are related to building the business strategies. Throughout this course, I will provide PowerPoint slides like this lecture. Okay? All the slides are developed by the instructor, myself, for all the course topics. And there is no textbook for this course. So throughout the classes about the business strategy, you can only rely on my PowerPoint slides for the series of the 14 classes. Okay. Let's look at the details of course schedules. This course is composed of 14 different classes, and the first class is about strategic thinking overview. So as I said, I will tell you what's the differences between strategic thinking and intuitive thinking, and strategic thinking, why strategic thinking is important and required in developing business strategy. And then in my second class, I will present the overview of problem-solving 7-step process. This process is designed and developed by the global management consulting firm named McKinsey & Company. And it's widely used in the business world in developing their own business strategy. And in the third class, I will introduce the concept and tool of MISI and logic tree, which are quite essential elements of building the business strategy. And in the fourth class, I will introduce the overview of business strategy building process, which I have designed. In order to introduce the concept of the business strategy in an easy way, I picked the case of taking a subway out of various options of transportations, and choosing the subway option requires the strategic thinking, and implicitly we are using the techniques of developing business strategy even in choosing everyday transportation options. So from the first to fourth class, those are the overview of what business strategy and what are the key elements of developing business strategies. And from the fifth class to 10th class, or from the 5th class to 12th class, I will specifically explain how to develop the key elements of the business strategy according to the overall flow of business strategy building process. So the first thing is understanding and analyzing the gaps. And then in the 6th class, using the BC and logic tree tool, try to disaggregate a lot of options. And during the 6th class, I will also introduce very famous business strategy building matrix, which is called BCG matrix, because this matrix is developed by the world global strategy consulting firm of Boston Consulting Group. Boston Consulting Group is one of the major competitor of McKinsey and Company. So McKinsey and Company and Boston Consulting Group are two of the best global management consulting firms. And in the 7th class, I will introduce the industry analysis. So defining the industry is the first thing, and in order to build up the business strategy, you have to understand the characteristics and the dynamics of a certain industry. And throughout the analysis, we can get some evidence of determining whether the industry is attractive or not. So in building the business strategy, understanding and determining the external environment, especially the industry where we are playing or where we want to play in, are very critical, and the first analysis we have to do. And in the 8th class, we will continue on taking the steps of building the business strategy, analyzing the competitors. In order for us to build a very successful and powerful business strategy, we also have to look at our competitors, in addition to the industry we are playing in. In the 9th class, we will also look at the customers and try to analyze who are the customers, and then what are the needs and wants of the customers. So from the 7th to the 9th class, throughout the 3 classes, we will look at the industry, competitor, and customer. Those are the 3C analysis. Okay. And in the 10th class, we will look at our internal environment, looking at core competency of our company. Okay, industry, competitor, and customer, all 3 things are outside factors influencing the business building process. But the core competency is internal factor we are supposed to look at. Okay? And then after analyzing those key components, industry, competitor, customer, and core analysis, core competency, now we are moving on to the developing marketing strategy. Okay, 4P means price, place, promotion, and product. Under the overall strategic direction from those analyses, we want to specifically design the marketing strategy in those 4P areas. So we will have a chance to look at 4P mix analysis in our 11th class. And then finally, we will draw the action plans and how to implement those action plans after building the business strategy. Designing a powerful business plan is very important, but implementing such business plan in the real world is as important as developing the business plan. So the 12th class is the final lecture of developing the business plan according to the overall business strategy building process, which starts in the 4th class. Okay, in the 13th class, this is not a part of the business strategy building process, but SWOT analysis is also very powerful in understanding the current situation of the company to develop the business plan. SWOT means strength, weakness, opportunity, and threats. So after understanding those key elements of our strength, our weakness, the opportunities in external environment, and threats from external environments, we may combine a couple of different strategies. It's developing a TOES strategy, combining strength and opportunity, strength and threats, weakness and opportunities, or weakness and threats. And finally, in the 14th class, as I said, I will introduce one of the articles to deal with how to rebuild our strategy in the era of digital transformation. So throughout those 14 classes, as I said, I hope the students to understand the basic concept of strategic thinking and also understand the general overall flow of business solving 7 steps, which you may want to apply in solving your own problems or develop your own strategies in your own areas. So during those classes, I also introduce some of the tools such as MISI, logic tree, and the BCG metrics, SWOT, 4P analysis, and core competencies, etc. Throughout the 14th class, I hope you enjoy to understand, learn, and apply the concept of the business strategy, and hopefully you will use those concepts in developing your own business strategy in any area.